So you want to know more about California's poisonous spiders?
Mm-hmm.
Good idea to do this deep dive because
Yeah.
California's a crazy mix of beaches and deserts and mountains.
Wow.
Bound to be some creepy crawlies lurking around.
Yeah, for sure.
We're using this article from a California pest control company.
Okay.
And these guys really know their stuff.
No, they do. They really do.
Most people think all spiders are dangerous,
Yeah.
but only a few of them in California are actually a threat.
Right?
This deep dive is all about giving you the knowledge to stay safe.
Yep.
Awareness is your best defense when it comes to venomous creatures.
I like that.
Awareness is key.
Yeah.
Speaking of awareness, the article says there are 6 spiders you really need to watch out for in California.
Okay.
Black widow,
Mm-hmm.
the brown recluse,
Okay.
desert recluse,
Uh-huh.
Chilean recluse,
Oh, wow.
the brown widow,
Okay.
and the yellow sac spider.
A lot of different ones?
Some of those names sound pretty scary,
Yeah.
but how often are people actually getting bitten?
Well, bites are much less common than you might think.
Really?
Yeah, spiders, even the venomous ones, usually prefer to avoid us.
Oh, okay.
They're not really interested in biting humans.
That's a relief.
Yeah.
So they're not, like, actively hunting us down.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Most bites happen when a spider feels trapped or threatened.
Okay.
So, like if you accidentally corner it
Yeah.
or stick your hand somewhere without looking first.
Makes sense.
But let's talk about those spiders that actually are a risk.
Yeah.
Starting with the one that has a reputation.
Okay.
The black widow.
Ooh, yeah. I bet you've heard of that one.
Oh, absolutely. The black widow is like the celebrity of the spider world.
Right?
That glossy black body and that bright red hourglass.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
Unmistakable.
And their legs can get pretty long too, right?
They can, adult females can have a leg span up to 1.5 inches.
Wow.
And here's something most people don't realize.
What's that?
It's only the female's bite that's dangerous.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Why is that? Well, the female black widow's venom contains powerful neurotoxins.
Neurotoxins.
Yeah, you see, our nerves and muscles constantly communicate
Uh-huh.
to make our bodies move.
Right.
And these neurotoxins mess with that whole communication system.
So it's like cutting the phone lines between your brain and your muscles.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
Imagine your muscles getting all these garbled messages.
Yeah.
It can lead to some serious problems.
like what?
Muscle pain cramps,
Mm-hmm.
even trouble breathing in some cases.
Oh, my gosh.
Luckily, there's an anti-venom that can help,
Okay.
but it's always best to seek medical attention
Right.
immediately after any venomous spider bite.
For sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now let's move on to a group of spiders that have a bad reputation,
Okay.
and for good reason.
Yeah.
The recluse spiders,
Uh-huh.
we've got 3 types in California.
Right.
Brown recluse,
Okay.
desert recluse,
Mm-hmm.
and the Chilean recluse.
Okay.
What makes these guys so different from the black widow?
Well, unlike the black widow's neurotoxins,
Uh-huh.
recluses are known for their cytotoxic venom.
Cytotoxic.
Yes, cyto meaning cells,
Okay.
and toxic, well, meaning toxic.
Right.
Basically, their venom attacks and destroys cells
Oh, wow.
around the bite area.
So instead of messing with your nervous system,
Yeah,
it's like a direct assault on your flesh?
pretty much.
That sounds even worse.
It can be pretty nasty.
Oh, no.
This cell damage can lead to something called necrosis,
Necrosis.
where the tissue around the bite starts to die off.
So like a burn that keeps spreading.
Yeah, because the venom prevents your body from healing.
Oh, gosh.
One thing that helps identify these recluse spiders is a violin-shaped marking on their back.
Oh, okay.
Sort of their not-so-friendly family crest.
Yikes. I'll be sure to keep an eye out for that violin.
Yeah.
Are all 3 of these recluses found all over California?
Not quite.
Okay.
You might have heard of the brown recluse.
Mhm.
It's not actually native to California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there have been sightings, but those are probably accidental introductions.
Okay.
On the other hand, the desert recluse is a true Californian.
Okay.
But as you might guess, it prefers deserts.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about the Chilean recluse?
Mhm.
I've honestly never even heard of that one.
That's because they are extremely rare in California. But here's where things get interesting
Oh.
and a little scary.
Okay.
The Chilean recluse is considered one of the most dangerous recluse species
Really?
because their venom can cause systemic symptoms.
Systemic symptoms?
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
It means the venom can affect your whole body,
Oh, wow.
not just the area around the bite.
Okay.
Think fever, vomiting,
Mhm.
and in really serious cases, even organ damage.
Oh, jeez.
But the good news is you're extremely unlikely to encounter one.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes you realize how important it is to be aware of your surroundings.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to our deep dive into California's venomous spiders.
Yeah.
So far, we've met the infamous black widow, known for its neurotoxins,
Right.
and the recluse spiders,
Yep.
with their cytotoxic venom.
Uh-huh.
Before we move on to the final two spiders on our list,
Okay.
I'm curious about this whole necrosis thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned it's like a burn that won't heal.
Right.
But what's actually happening in the body?
Well, it's not pretty.
Oh, no.
Essentially, the venom triggers an intense inflammatory response.
Okay.
And inflammation is supposed to be part of the healing process.
Right.
But the venom just throws things out of whack.
Oh, wow.
It disrupts blood flow to the area, damages cells,
Uh-huh.
prevents the body from repairing the tissue properly.
So in severe cases,
Yeah.
it can lead to open sores
Yes.
and even require skin grafts.
Great.
Wow. That's definitely not something you want to mess with.
Oh.
Recognizing those early symptoms is super important,
Yeah.
like redness and swelling around the bite.
Absolutely.
Speaking of identification,
Yeah.
we've talked about the black widow's hourglass
Mm-hmm.
and the recluse's violin marking.
Right.
But are those markings always reliable?
That's a good question.
Could other spiders have similar patterns?
You're right to be cautious.
Okay.
Those markings are good starting points,
Yeah.
but they're not foolproof.
Okay.
There can be variations in color and pattern even within the same species.
Huh.
Plus, some harmless spiders might mimic those markings to survive.
So it's like a spider wearing a fake ID.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. So how can you be absolutely sure?
Well, if you're ever unsure,
Yeah.
the safest bet is to avoid contact
Okay.
and call in an expert,
It's like, cool.
a pest control professional, or an entomologist.
Okay.
They can identify the species
Yeah.
and tell you what to do.
Makes sense. Better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly.
Now we've got two more spiders to cover.
Okay.
The brown widow
Uh-huh.
and the yellow sac spider.
Right.
Let's start with the brown widow.
Okay.
I've heard they're not as aggressive as black widows.
Yeah.
How does their venom compare?
That's a common misconception.
Really?
While brown widows are less likely to bite,
Mm-hmm.
their venom is actually just as potent.
Whoa. So even though they're less prone to biting,
Yeah.
the bite itself is just as serious.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's why it's so important not to underestimate any venomous spider,
Right.
even if they have a reputation for being shy.
Okay. Good advice.
Now, as for the yellow sac spider,
Yeah.
their venom is a bit unique.
How so?
It combines elements of both the black widow and the recluse.
Wait, you mean it has both neurotoxic and cytotoxic components?
That's right.
So it's like they took a page out of each playbook.
Exactly.
Wow.
This means their bites can cause a variety of symptoms,
Okay.
from pain and inflammation to fever and muscle aches.
That's a wild combination.
Yeah, it is.
So how do doctors treat a yellow sac spider bite?
Well,
Is it the same as for a black widow or a recluse?
treatment really depends on the severity
Okay.
and the individual's reaction. In mild cases, supportive care might be enough,
Like what?
pain relief and wound management.
Okay.
But for more severe cases,
Yeah.
especially those with systemic symptoms,
Right.
antivenom might be necessary.
Anti-venom.
Mm.
That sounds intense.
It can.
How does that even work?
Well, it's a pretty incredible medical tool.
Okay.
It's a concentrated solution of antibodies
Right.
that neutralize the venom.
So it's like sending in a specialized team
Pretty much.
to disarm the venom molecules. That's amazing.
Yeah,
So it's like a targeted antidote
precisely.
that goes straight for the venom.
The antibodies bind to the venom molecules,
Yeah.
making them harmless and
Ah.
preventing them from causing more damage.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
But you mentioned that antivenom isn't always necessary.
right.
How do doctors decide when to use it?
It's a judgment call based on the patient's symptoms
Okay.
and overall health.
Mm-hmm.
For mild bites, supportive care is usually enough.
Oh.
But if the symptoms are severe
Yeah.
or the patient has other health conditions,
Right.
antivenom can be a lifesaver.
Okay, so it's a powerful tool,
Yes.
but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
Before we move on, I wanted to circle back to something you said earlier
Okay.
about spiders being beneficial.
Yeah.
I get that they eat insects,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still having trouble seeing them as anything other than scary.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's easy to focus on the fear factor,
Right.
but spiders are a vital part of our ecosystem.
Okay.
They're incredibly efficient predators,
Hmm.
and they keep insect populations in check.
So without them,
Yeah,
we'd be overrun with pests.
exactly.
That could damage crops,
Yes.
gardens, and even our homes.
That's right.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into California's venomous spiders.
All right.
We've learned a lot about their venom,
Yeah.
how to ID them,
Right?
and even their role in the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get practical. How often are spider bites actually happening?
Well, spider bites are much less common than most people think.
Really?
Spiders, even the venomous ones, aren't aggressive.
Right?
They really want to avoid us.
More accidental encounters then.
Yeah, exactly.
Not spiders actively hunting us down.
Right.
Okay, good to know.
Most bites happen when a spider feels trapped or threatened.
Like when...
Like if you reach into a dark corner of the garage
Yeah.
or put on a shoe without checking inside first.
I've totally done that.
Well, hopefully there wasn't a spider in there.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of bites,
Yeah.
how can you tell if it's something to worry about?
That's a good question.
Are there like specific symptoms?
Yeah, are there signs that it's venomous?
Well, symptoms vary a lot depending on the spider and the
Right.
person,
Okay.
but some general signs,
Yeah.
redness, swelling, and pain
Okay.
at the bite site.
Mm-hmm.
You might also see itching or a rash,
Got it.
if you notice any of those.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to clean the bite with soap and water
Mm.
and apply a cold compress for the swelling.
Basic first aid.
Exactly.
But when should someone go to the doctor?
If you start having symptoms beyond the bite,
Okay.
like difficulty breathing, chest pain racing, heartbeat,
Oh, gosh.
dizziness, nausea, or muscle cramps that spread,
Those sound serious.
they are.
Yeah.
You need to seek medical attention right away.
Okay, got it. Those are definitely red flags.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about prevention.
Okay.
We've talked about sealing cracks and cleaning up clutter.
Right.
Are there any other tricks to keep spiders out of the house?
Haha. Besides burning the whole place down.
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't come to that.
One good strategy is to make your home less appealing to spiders.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, they love dark, undisturbed spaces.
Right.
So regular cleaning is key.
So like what?
Vacuuming, dusting, sweeping.
Mm-hmm.
That can help remove spider webs and egg sacs.
Okay.
That disrupts their life cycle.
So a clean house is a spider-free house.
Right.
Now this might sound silly,
What's up?
but what about those ultrasonic pest repellers?
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Do those actually work?
There's actually no evidence to support those claims.
Oh, really?
At least not for spiders.
Okay.
They might work for some pests,
Yeah.
but spiders don't hear the same way we do.
So those ultrasonic waves are useless.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Good to know they're a waste of money.
Yeah.
What about natural repellents?
What?
Are there scents that spiders hate?
There's some talk about certain essential oils.
Okay, like what?
Peppermint, citrus, lavender.
Okay.
You can try spraying those around.
All right, worth a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say a venomous spider gets in.
Uh-oh.
Maybe one got past my lavender defenses.
Uh-huh.
What's the best way to deal with it?
Well, first stay calm.
Okay.
Don't try to handle it.
No way.
If possible, trap it under a glass
Okay.
and slide a piece of paper under to release it outside.
So catch and release.
Exactly.
What if I'm not comfortable getting that close?
Then call a pest control professional.
Okay, they know how to deal with it.
Right. They have the experience and the equipment.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's best to leave it to the pros.
for sure.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything.
Yeah, I think so.
We busted some myths,
Mm-hmm.
learned about the venomous spiders in California,
Right.
and got tips to prevent bites.
It's all about staying safe.
Exactly. Knowledge is power
Absolutely.
when it comes to the natural world.
The more you understand about spiders, the less you'll fear them,
I like that.
and the better you'll be able to live with them.
So instead of seeing them as monsters,
Yeah.
we can appreciate them
Mm-hmm.
while also being cautious.
Exactly.
That's a great way to end this deep dive.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We hope you learned a thing or two
Mm-hmm.
and maybe gained a new appreciation for these creatures.
Definitely.
Stay curious, keep learning,
Yeah,
and appreciate the wonders of the natural world.
absolutely.